Hello guys, once again it's Matt and today we have another video. Let's thank our members. Obviously Overlanding 11B being the fulcrum member. Thank you man, it helps a lot. Silami, Astropub, Jaf, Justin Field, Yuyush, Igor, Lafush and Commander Frosty. Thank you for being fulcrum Foxbad members as well. Thank you all the Fishman members and let's get into it. So today we are going to take a look on basically it's a proposal made by players, made by Brazilians and other nations for a tech tree for War Thunder. I found it very cool to see this tech tree, and I had to make a video about it. I mean, this is a teaser. A teaser. Remember what I'm saying? This is a teaser. This is not all aircraft that are going to come. There are many other aircraft that are here, many other ships, many other tanks, so but we cannot I cannot say everything that's added right now for this proposal because once it is released as a full proposal, I'm going to make a proper video on it. So this video is just to have a little bit of a taste on what it would be, especially in air and kind of in the high tiers of that. Okay, so yeah, basically we have a multi-nation kind of thing, the same way that everybody always thought that the East Europe would have a tech tree. They made the Latin American tech tree, so you would because there's many big countries in here. So for example, Brazil and Argentina has many vehicles, but if you are going to put just one country, it would kind of be a very small tech tree. To be honest, we could have that as well because we have Israel, which is a very small tech tree. But still, the idea behind it was to remove the most amount of copy paste, of aircraft or vehicles in general, and especially make it as big as possible so that a lot of nations could be added, and with that you can have an actual big nation. I think it's there's a lot of Eurocentrism, and uh, just in general, basically a centralism in the developed countries. It's in many types of things, not in War Thunder specifically, but you know what I mean. And with that, I think this tree helps a little bit because there are some very cool, interesting vehicles here. They're normally their own design or they're modified from original aspect of a vehicle. So for example, we have the AF1 Falcon here, which is the A4 Skyhawk, but it's upgraded for the Brazilian Navy, for example, or the AMX A1M, which is the same AMX that we see on the Italian, that we will see in the Italian Tech Tree eventually, hopefully, but it has some modifications for the Brazilian. The Tan 2 that we already have in game. There's some own design. So, for example, the Osório, the Tan, it is one. The Pookie, the Pampa, the F5 being a completely redesigned, being it's a very big change from the normal F5. The Pucara, the Tucano, which is very well known, in many countries. So yeah, it's a very cool tech tree, and I think obviously, as I said, this is just a teaser. We will have many more vehicles, like 3, 4 times maybe. I really don't know because I'm not into the development of this proposal, but still, obviously I have to say it's not official, of course. If you didn't understand, it's not something that is coming confirmed for War Thunder. Okay, it's just a proposal made for by players so that we can have another tech tree that it's going to be very interesting. I mean, I still think that we should receive the Korean tech trees, the Yugoslavian tech tree, but this one is just, I mean, it's my country is here, so I would say that this is more special for me. So yeah, I really wish, I really hope that Gaijin actually listen to the proposal and actually in the future add the vehicles. A lot of the vehicles could be just a modified version. For example, the Jaguar ES and the F5 EM. And I really want to talk about some of the vehicles. I don't want to make a video too long, you know. I want to make a video very quickly, just a teaser, as I said. But remember, once the proposal is actually finished, I will make a video showing everything and leaving a link for you guys to click and help support the project and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's cool to see this type of thing and to just kind of think about what a new country would be. So first of all, let's talk a little bit on the Tucano. So we call it Tucano, which is the this bird, obviously. And yeah, it would be a kind of a late, kind of the same, similar to like a post-war, early post-war prop aircraft. It is a turboprop, which uses a PT6 Pratt& and Whitney engine, and it is pretty interesting. It is an aircraft that is used here in Brazil extensively for training and for border control against many types of invasions from drug dealers and stuff like that. So it's it's the backbone of the Brazilian Air Force in the sense that it's patrolling the borders of Brazil, especially in the Amazon, so that it can actually maintain its sovereignty. You know, Brazil can maintain its sovereignty, and it's just something that it's an aircraft, not the ATC 27 exactly, because this is the normal Tucano, okay? But normally it would be kind of an attacker aircraft, you know, especially the 27 version because it is kind of the older one. It doesn't have many type of armaments and stuff like that, so it would be kind of a low BR probably. I don't know what they are thinking of, but still it would be a lower BR. But still, it will carry bombs, Mark 82s, and stuff like that. It carry gun pods for 30 cals, 50 cals, even some 20 millimeters, I think. Some just some rockets, stuff like that. So it would be kind of a low BR, but it is an interesting aircraft. It is an aircraft that it's, as I said, extensively used for training, especially here in Brazil, and for light attack and patrolling, basically. So yeah, it would be a very interesting aircraft. Another aircraft that we can see is the A29B, the Super Tucano. And here we have a representation of the A29, as you see here, which is the Super Tucano, which is the further development of the AT-27, which is the older one. It is very, very much an upgrade. It can even carry some air-to-air missiles, so this could be like a 9.0, 9.3, maybe even that. The performance would be very, I mean, it's a slow aircraft. It's still a turboprop, you know. It has a low climb rate of around 16 to 20 meters per second, so it's not that amazing in performance, but the weaponry can be very, very good. I still think that, in my personally opinion, it would be to not be that advanced. You know, I mean, we have the Piranha, which is the basically a domestically built IR missile that can be used in here, but it can also be used the Pythons and M9Ls and stuff like that. But still, I would not see that as a proper thing because the BR would be too high. But as for the other things, it would be amazing. It could carry, I mean, the normal armament, the internal armament is 250 cals, as you see here on the wings, but it can carry a 20 millimeter pod under the fuselage. Also, it can carry Mavericks, it can carry guided bombs, it can carry normal bombs, it can carry rockets and stuff like that. As I said, this is the backbone of the Amazon protecting force, kind of, you know, because it basically is used for patrolling the borders on the Amazon, on the border in general, for slow moving targets. Because, as you know, drug dealers normally don't use jets for dealing drugs, you know, to doing that. So they normally use Senecas and Barons and stuff like that, which are very slow compared to an F5, for example, or the Gripen or the Mirage or something like that. And we use the Tucano to just deal with those situations. Okay, even some of them are shot down by Tucanos. I mean, all year, I mean, every year, at least one of them is shut down. To be honest, a lot of them are shut down or at least damaged because of the Tucanos, because they are very effective at their job. They're way faster than most prop aircraft, and they can fly in very peculiar ways. You know, they even have we have the Esquadrilha da Fumaça, which is the basically the equivalent for something like the Thunderbirds or something like that. You know, the Russian Knights, stuff like that. So we have it, the Esquadrilha da Fumaça, which uses the A29 right now. So yeah, it's pretty cool. They were in my city like a month ago, so yeah, it's amazing to see those aircraft fly. So yeah, pretty interesting. These are some domestic designs from Brazil, for example. We have also the Pookie, for example, which is very interesting. It would be there were just like four of them built, but still, it's a pretty interesting design and very capable, to be honest, for the time. I mean, it was basically equivalent for a MiG-15, stuff like that, you know, for that time. And as you see the air brakes here, it kind of looks a little bit as a Oregon or something like that, but yeah, it uses the Rolls-Royce Nene engine. And it uses four 20mm Spano Suiza cannons. So yeah, it would be very interesting to see that as well. Kind of a MiG-15, as I said, 8.3, 8.0, something like that, 8.7. So yeah, the performance is obviously the Nene is not the greatest, most powerful engine ever, but still, it's pretty amazing to see that. As you see, we have many different American aircraft like the Hawk here, the Boeing Model 256. We have the Falcon, as I said, which is used I mean it's still used by the Brazilian Navy, for example, which is the A4. He has been modernized by Embraer, so you would have some different avionics, different HUD, a different radar probably for navigation and stuff like that. So it is just a different aircraft a little bit and pretty cool. And especially aircraft like the F5EM. I mean, we can see the Mirage 3 here. We can see many aircraft here, and I will be showing every single one of them on the proper video of it. And yeah, basically this is it. The F5EM, for example, it's a pretty interesting model. They removed one of the 20mm cannons, but it has a very good radar, pulse Doppler, and stuff like that. It can carry the Piranha, which is equivalent. I mean, some people say that it's better than the R-73, and some people say that it's equivalent to the AIM-9L. It's probably more of an AIM-9L, but still, it would be like a 30G missile, all aspects and stuff. So this could be a thing. I mean, the F5EM with a very good radar and the Piranhas and Python 3s to be a competitive machine in top tier, you know. We can receive the Mirage 2000C. We can receive the Gripen in the future, you know, and many other aircraft. Even I think Argentina is buying the GF-17. No, the what's that Pakistani Chinese-built aircraft, but still, it is a very interesting design of a tech tree. Many tanks also, some Brazilian domestic tanks, as you see here. Some modifications, for example, the Cascavel, it's a Greyhound, but with different cannon. So yeah, we have I mean, a BMP 100, I mean, a Cuban version of a BMP 1. So it has many different types of aircraft, many different types of tanks, many different types of ships as well. Obviously, I don't play ships, so normally I don't mind too much of the ships, but still, some very interesting, the Minas Gerais, which is a battleship for Brazil, which was very powerful. So yeah, it's a very interesting tech tree idea, and I really hope Gaijin listens to the guys, and I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe and keep an eye out, because once this is actually a proposal on the forum and stuff, I will make a video on it for you guys to actually help, but just keep in mind that it is coming, okay? The proposal. I hope Gaijin listens to it. So yeah, I see you guys on the next one, and basically this is it. Bye guys, see ya.